Hey, 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 JC, embrace a better journey. Hey, I can't see who you are with that little face. You gotta send me a DM so we can connect because I feel like you were a former student. I'm trying to get another former student on. Okay, I already sent the invite. Let's see what he do. How y'all doing this morning? What's up? I do lives with anybody, so DM me and let me know. I mean, anybody I know and trust. Oh, what's this? I see something. What's up, y'all? Bitcoin going back up. I'm juiced. Yay, let's give it up for Bitcoin going back up. Woo, woo, woo. I left my closet door open. Let's make sure we stay like this. And then, good morning, Rich Gang. Or Rich Yang. I'm sorry, Rich Yang. I can't see who you are in this little blue face. So make sure you DM me so I can see who you are too. Where is my guest? My guest today is when I left Far West. So yesterday
I had, not yesterday, before that.
Trying to find a good setup. Hello. Sorry.
You went to your car so you could get peace of mind, huh? Get
Well,
some
yeah, because
privacy.
the little one, she's gonna wake up any moment now, and when she
I
wakes up,
knew it. That's smart. That's your office and your
yeah.
point of inspiration, the car. So many people be inspired in the car, too.
Oh no, I don't get that luxury. This is a one-time thing. I do have a back part of the house that is. Do I need to turn it?
Yeah, you do. I'm
Yeah,
over
yeah.
here like,
Turn
okay.
what works best. All right, so I just hold it. But I do have a back part in my house where we're gonna convert it into office space. But for the most part, I work right in the middle of the chaos. This is the only thing I can do.
Most creativity coming to chaos sometimes. Let me
Yeah.
acknowledge some people. Megadeth, Falu, and then I already acknowledged Rich Yang, and then, I don't know, some other people. I like this look. Look
Oh,
at you. You know, last time I saw you in person, now, not talking about like on the phone, but saw you in person was at BTEC when you came back to talk to my class. And you was clean cut. You was from the Marines. Was it the Marines you had gone
yes,
to?
ma'am. Thank you. Thank you. Yes.
Yeah, so you was like super clean cut. So this is a new look. This is
Yes.
yes, I like this.
Yeah. So my wife has been growing her dreads for 8 years. So her
Okay.
hair's down to her back, and I had dreads, but I cut them honestly to try to fill that corporate feel that I had. Maybe that would change a lot of the doors that I was opening or closing while I was working. It didn't. So I decided that what we would do is me and her had a discussion about probably having like a whole family full of dreadheads. So just to give back to the
Okay.
culture, and
Yeah.
we love the culture. So it helps.
Yeah. Okay, so you're growing your hair out for locks?
So yes, I'm growing them back out to life. So I'm actually I was trying to get my barber to line me up before I showed up because I looked so rough, and I needed every minute because I just dropped my kids off in Tracy. But I'm getting my hair cut. I'm getting my hair lined and trimmed Thursday because my birthday's Friday, so get a chance to
This
uh,
Friday?
yeah, this Friday. I
Happy
turned 33.
birthday!
Thank you, thank you, thank you. I never celebrate my birthday, but this Friday I'm definitely gonna celebrate it.
You turning how old?
I didn't
Oh,
want
you
to,
take. I thought
tell
you just
everybody
said
my
it.
age,
That's
but
why
I'm
I
turning
asked.
33, 33.
Get out!
Yes.
All
I'll be
my students
33.
is grown.
Yeah, I'll be 33. I have 3 kids and a fourth one on the way, and it would be my last one. And then, yeah, and we've been running this business and doing this thing for a
Look at
long, long
your grown ass. Being a daddy out here with kids and a
It's
wife.
I got
Ambitious.
I actually was married at 19, got divorced at 24, and then I did not think I was gonna get married again, and I got married 2 years ago to my wife now. So I've been with her for 9 years though.
Hey, you is
And
really out here. You growner than me. I ain't been married
February
yet.
26th marks a 2-year anniversary of marriage.
I'm finna come to you for advice. Okay, wait. Somebody is requesting to join. I need to see if you know this person. Dongar no, I know you don't know him. Oh, it say happy birthday. Do you know Dongar Divaraja?
Yeah, I probably do. It's hard for me to know who I do and do not know because I follow, or I only use my company's page. I never use my personal
Okay.
page. So it could be artists, it could be
Well, we're gonna
business
say
people
thank
that
you
are doing.
to
Thank you.
Dongar Divaraja. Thank you for the happy birthday
I
to.
can't clearly see the pictures, but thank you very much for the happy birthday. Thank you for everybody who's joining in and everything. And thank you for this opportunity. And you look amazing yourself. I like the background setup. I wish I would have had a little bit more aesthetics in my
It's going
background.
in and out. It's going in
Oh,
and
I
out.
said I
Hold
wish
on.
I would have had. Am I good?
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, yeah, I said I wish I would. I said you look lovely too. I love your background. I wish I would have had the same aesthetics as you.
Oh,
Unfortunately, just the back of the car, where I spend most of my time in. Honestly, I spend most of my time in this car or in somebody else's car.
that's okay. My room. I just put this screen up whenever I'm doing something. It's easier that way. Yeah, we don't have to apologize for anything. I mean, for
Okay.
me, the best inspiration. I'm in the car. Do you get a lot of inspiration around your? Where do you?
Yes.
Let me ask you. Okay, where do you get your inspiration?
Oh man.
What's the best place? The setting I'm talking about.
The
Like, where
setting.
are you
Yes.
physically?
In the car. I would say in the car. Well, right now it's not in the car. It's usually whenever I'm around my team, but most of the time when I'm around my team, it is in the car. So when we're going or coming from a gig that like we just went to Mariposa just this past last weekend. We went to Mariposa and then this weekend I had to go to Stockton. And when we're in the car together, that's our opportunity. Take an hour or 2 hours and we create right there and try to come up with something. And then oftentimes when I'm by myself, I find myself sitting in the car or sitting in the place alone, but mostly time a car and going off of there. In fact, my most inspirational time is when I've been homeless. I've been homeless in this car 2 times and literally came up with ideas or ways to generate money, not a lot of money, but a decent amount of money, and to be able to give me opportunities later on down in the future.
Mm-hmm. You going in and out. You
Am I going
there?
in and out again?
Okay. Okay, I can hear you now. Okay,
Okay, maybe
so
my hand is on the mic. Maybe that's what it is.
but I heard you. You said you get a lot of when you were homeless. I don't know if you said you were homeless in that car.
Yeah, twice.
Is that what you
Or
meant? Twice.
twice? I believe
And
it's
then
twice.
you get a lot of you got some ideas. While you were homeless in that car, you were able to generate some ideas that brought you some income to help you kind of get out of that situation. Is that correct?
Well, I had my living situation since I got out of the military, and I'm actually training veterans. So if anybody in here knows a veteran, what's up, QK? Anybody here knows a veteran, please tag them, let them know. Sly Sly Scholar has some information for you, but I tried my best to separate my living situation from my business situation. And as a veteran, I have that opportunity. A lot of veterans don't know that. So while I was homeless, I wasn't really concerned about where I would live, so to speak, because I was already working on something else. But I was working on wealth. How do I build wealth? What is the steps that I need? What are the books or the requirements that I'm going to have to, have? Because they don't teach you that in school, and then there's no what we call a what is it called? A trailblazer portal, something that shows you this is how you go from having no dollars to having immense amount of wealth. And that's what I've been taking my time doing because, like I said, the paperwork and everything else that you have to do on the other side will definitely come in. And it did bring money too. Wasn't like I was looking for it, but I kind of was. Like, I mean, wasn't looking for money. I was looking for opportunities.
Mhm. Okay. And then okay, let me make the little circles going around on your end. So let me make sure I heard you correctly. They might hear us okay. Y'all let me know out there if you can hear both of us okay. This
All right,
person
I'll
is
ask you.
asking, please, but I don't know this person, and since you don't know them, I'm not gonna ask them. But you were saying something that most people don't know about being in the military or being a veteran. What did
Yeah,
you say about that?
being a veteran. So, for example, and I'm gonna fully disclose. I would ask that you do add them unless they're. And I would ask that you add them, and if you can kick them if they're being too disruptive or something, that's perfectly fine. But I don't know if they're a veteran, and the information that I have could be helpful to them or somebody else. It's that life changing. That's how crazy it is. And I didn't know about this information until I started getting out. He said, in and out, I got the gist of what he said. Thanks, QK.
Okay.
Thank you. All right. So what
Okay.
I'm saying is, as a veteran, there is money out there for other people who have served. All you have to do is serve, I think it's somewhere between 6 months to a year. And
Oh,
they
there's money
will,
out for veterans. Is that
there's
what you said?
money.
There's money out there?
There's
Okay.
more than just money. There's more than just money. There's money though, but
Okay.
there's like I'm 100% service connected, which means that I'm disabled technically, and
Okay.
the government pays me
Okay.
for the rest of my life. Then they pay my
Okay.
children a certain amount of money, roughly almost
Okay.
$4,000 once they turn 18 to go to school and maintain a B minus, and they get to go to any public college for free. And then they pay their book stipend
Okay.
too. And then for
Okay.
myself, so it's like
So
all these
this benefits for
doors,
you, your children.
and for the wife, and then there's there's benefits for business and stuff. Now I'm using some of those to.
Oh.
I haven't unlocked my business benefits, but I have done the housing benefits where there's an emergency
Okay.
housing. So when I was homeless, they ended up placing me in emergency Section 8 for veterans. It's called HUD-VASH. Okay, and
Oh
HUD-VASH,
wow. Okay.
HUD-VASH. So I live in a 3-bedroom, 1-bathroom house, and I think my rent is $954 a month, but it's a
Right
$3,400
here in the Bay Area. Hold on.
in
Let's
San
pause for a second. In the Bay Area.
in San Leandro, not too far from Bayfair. I am hood adjacent.
Wow. You know
So
that don't
yeah.
exist.
So when I'm not worried about the housing situation, it gives me more opportunity to focus and think in on, what I'm doing. And I remember when I was in high school, I remember you were the only teacher who was like, no, go and do the military thing. If you think that's what's gonna change your life and give you a better opportunity to do it. And there were other teachers who were like, no, you should definitely not join the white man's military. And I was like, man, you don't understand the opportunities that they will afford you if you just, go and do your time. I've never, for anybody who's listening, and I will never lie on my vow, I have never fought in a war. I have never deployed. That does not mean that I don't rate my 100% service connection. It means I have other issues that have come while in the military that gives me that rate. And my hearing and stuff is still going out. So there's other things that come with that, but those sacrifices, just like being in the NFL or the NBA or a teacher or a business person, you're going to sacrifice something so that way you can get something. So I made sure when I got out, I had learned, I believe in God. God put me in a position to learn from another black man who was in a VA how to obtain these things. And his only request for me was that I would give it back for free. So I actually have a podcast that I'm working on. It's called First Civ Div. We call First Civ Div one. It'll be CIV DIV. It's First Civilian Division is what we call it in the military. And it's when you exit out of the military. Because if you guys don't know, 1 in every 5 homeless people are a veteran. And it's not because they did anything wrong. It's just simply they're not taught or equipped. So it's like we getting out of jail and then they're not telling us anything. You're just out. So I had to learn. And when I learned, I made $100,000 my first year. But go ahead. I'm taking over too much with
I just want to pause to make sure we catching everything. So you have a podcast and it's called First Civ Div
It's not out yet.
CIVDIV. Oh, okay,
Yes.
you're working on it. That's
I'm
your
on
way of
it. It's pretty much going to be me giving this information away to any vet. I have met veterans who served in Korea who have zero money coming from the government, and this is all entitlement. This is all what you are earned. So that's why I'm doing the podcast.
Okay, so now this is interesting because I assumed that everybody who went into the military that you were informed, like maybe even given a package to
No.
This is
They used to give a package about this thin until my class, until I got out, and they force there. It's a force requirement for you to actually get out. But however, in the Marine Corps and in certain other branches, they will try to tell you that your job supersedes the education to get out. See, I was what you call a skater, so I went to the class twice because there's the class for going to school, and then there's a class for getting a job. They never teach you how to create a job, just to let you guys know that. So you got to be on your little trail game on how you're going to create your own job. But they do give you those two options. And then I decided you are capable of going into, it takes you out of work for about 3 months. And that's the problem for them, because they need you there, or at least they say that they need you there. So now you're getting
Okay.
out and you have no idea. And that's just on some, what am I going to do with my life? That's not on your benefits. They don't tell you about your benefits. They don't tell, in my service and branch in the Marine Corps, it is negative or frowned upon for you to actually go to what we call medical, right? But you need to go to medical so that way you can keep track of everything that's happening to you, right? And then when you get out, like
Oh.
6 months, here's a key, and I'm going to put this on it. Everybody who's listening to me, if you don't listen to anything else, if you know a veteran, they need to understand this. If you do not file your service connection a year before you get out, or if you file it a year before you get out, you'll get the money as soon as you get out. You don't file it 6 months. If you file it 6 months like before you get out, like I did, you'll get back paid 6 months. So they back paid me $28,000. Just right off
Oh,
in my account,
wow.
$28,000, and then they paid me for the rest of my life. Now, if you decide that
Okay.
you're gonna wait to do it afterwards, it takes 7 years.
Oh,
So if you wait till
wow.
after you get out,
Okay, so
it'll
this
take
is,
you 7 years.
and
Yeah, go ahead.
am I correct in understanding that this is the game that somebody else put you on, somebody else helped you understand to do
Yes,
this?
yes, yes. And
Okay,
then not
okay.
only that, it doesn't just benefit me. It benefits my children. It benefits my
Right.
spouse. So my wife, not only does she get a check, not only is she medically covered, but then at the same time, she can also, because I'm 100% service connected, can also become my in-home caretaker. Especially if I can't work, then I can go and claim Social Security that will back pay you $12,000 and $2,000
Okay.
additional for every month until your life.
Okay.
So,
Okay. So
so right
this
now
is,
my kids can go to Cal, or there's a couple of public, Texas Southern University, like I did, for free, and get paid to go to school and
okay.
still get a job.
Okay. I want to pause for a second because
Yeah, go
what
ahead.
you're telling me is that you made a crucial decision in high school when you weren't even, like everybody in high school, we're not sure what
I was
direction
worse
we're
than
going to take,
everybody. I was horrible.
where
You
we're
know that. I was
but
horrible.
I want to paint the picture, and you tell me you fill in the blanks. But I want to make sure I understand. Everybody, first of all, we were at a continuation high school, so
Which I
a
actually
lot of
was.
the kids there had different challenges, a lot of heavy life challenges, and
Hmm.
so you were trying to make a decision. Probably, tell me if I'm correct, but kind of you had to direct your own life. Am I correct? Like you had to
Oh no,
kind
no,
of
you
you
you're
didn't have a lot
100%.
of
So full disclosure, just
right.
as quickly as brief as it can. I did grow up with my auntie as my foster parent, but I did not grow up with a dad. My mom was on drugs. I have a big family, but all of us grew up in foster care and group homes. When you found me, I was suicidal at 13. I had already tried 3 times to attempt to kill myself upon going to class that day. When we were talking about Tupac, I literally stepped in front of a bus. A lady grabbed me. Tried to step in front of a BART. A lady grabbed me, and then I was getting ready to step in front of a car, and the lady was like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "Man, that's crazy." So that day, and then coupled with a little bit of words coming from you, poetry class and speaking, those couple of things helped me kind of start making things click and start asking other questions.
Hmm. Okay. Ooh, so at that crucial time in our lives where high school is challenging and we're leaving high school, it's hard anyway. But then you're also in a certain situation where, like you said, you were dealing with like a lot of heavy emotional stuff growing up, feeling however you were feeling, if it's unloved or if it's unwanted or if it's where's my father or why isn't my family intact? All the questions that we can have when we have
And
these
I
kind
still
of
have those feelings
families.
today. For whoever's listening, I still have those feelings today. Okay, I don't,
Mm-hmm.
I don't try to commit suicide, but I'm in the military. I took the time to learn how to like be that guy to prevent suicide, and I've had to take classes and be that guy. And now I've taught my wife how to deal with me. So if I do get in that state, she knows what to do. So it's not like it just goes away. It doesn't go away.
Okay. That's deep that you're able to teach other people how to help you. In that's real deep. I like that you're talking about that. And also, do you get therapy? Like do you go to a therapist?
Well, I'm in therapy now, but I don't
Okay.
think that it's helpful because I've been in therapy from, well, back in the 90s. For anybody who knows that back in the 90s when you were a foster child, you had to go to therapy. So I was in forced
Mm-hmm.
therapy until
Okay.
16, and then I asked to go to therapy after
Right.
16. and I hadn't been in therapy until couples therapy at 24, and then after that, no therapy. So now I'm kind of feeling like I get that feeling that the therapist is not really helping me as much as I need, because there's not a lot of Black therapists who grew up in the urban, thing and married and know how to, deal with
It's hard
me.
to find the
It's hard
therapist,
to find
period,
the therapist.
regardless. It can
And my
be
brother,
really hard. And it's worse because you're usually, when we try to find a therapist, we're already in a really deep situation, and then we have to
mm-hmm.
interview these therapists, and some of these therapists can really mess you up because they don't. Some therapists are so messed up themselves, you know. So it's
Yeah,
like you
yeah,
have to
yeah.
really be careful trying to find a therapist. I had a therapist once that once I started sharing my stories and stuff with her, it seemed like she got so fascinated by it. And by the way, I thought about things. She started asking me for advice about her stuff. I couldn't
So
believe it. I
I
had,
found
of
a
course.
holistic kind of way of trying to deal with it, and that's just keeping the people that you want to be, like who you want to be. You just keep those type of people around. It's hard. It's very hard, and then you have to understand that if you are an isolated person, like I'm an isolated person, not because I want to be sometimes, but that's just how it lands in this business. And the whole the best thing that you can tell yourself is that by yourself you can create a lot. You do need a team. Like I have a whole team that works with me, but it's
Yeah.
pretty much my brain power and what I can connect until it gets bigger than that.
Okay. So I also want to go back to just really focusing on how critical it is that you made this decision in high school, leaving high school. You made this decision that really benefited your life moving forward, and how I just want to really give you like your accolades and your acknowledgement for making that decision that for you, you know? And so, like you said, some people, I mean, myself, I don't necessarily view the military, I would never encourage anyone to go to the military, but I do know that, like, sometimes you're in a certain situation and you have to go in the direction where the tools are. And if
And
that's the
I
direction where you see the resources,
Mhm.
then I support you going and getting the resources. And that's what it sounds like you
Well,
did.
see, and that's the thing is that I think that's where me and you, where you told me that you don't really support the whole situation, but you understand that that's where I feel like I need to get the resources. Even my auntie, who helped, the one who raised me, she helped start the Black Panthers. So she had a very very strong outlook on me not joining, but she also told me that and for you guys who are Caucasian, I'm sorry, but she never talked like this. But if you're gonna go and join the white folks, at least learn something from them, because
Going
they
in
got
and
stuff
out, I
that.
can't really hear.
Oh, she's saying learn from the white folks as much as you can, because when it comes to business, because that's what they do, right? That's the whole point in you joining. It's not just joining. I wasn't joining to just fight for the nation or nothing like that. Like that was, and getting out of the hood. That was, all of those things was combined, but the main thing was getting resources, and we have to shift our look at what we're talking about. My long-term goal was to retire before 40. Can you hear me?
Oh, you're breaking up a lot. I
Can
don't know
you?
what you're
Oh
saying.
man, can you hear me now? Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Okay, I might have to go back in the house. So my long-term goal was to retire before 40. Okay, I can kind of say I did that. Kind of. I'm not gonna
You
rest on my
said
laurels
to
or nothing.
retire before 40. Is that what you said?
Yeah. So that way I wouldn't have to work
Okay.
for money. I wanted to work, but I wanted to work for what I wanted to work for, not work for living.
Right.
Right. So that's something
Mm-hmm.
that you got to learn how to do, is not work for living, work for what you want to gain. And we have to shift our perspective of where we can
Work
get
for
those
fun.
resources.
Work for joy, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Work. If you're going to get the money, what was, I read a quote that said, I don't do this for the money. I do this for the love. I negotiate for the money. So I don't do what I do for the money. I do it because I love to do it. And then I negotiate my money because I like my money, but I'm not gonna work for free. You know what I'm saying? I work for free on my own things. So those are things that you have to understand. And I believe that the military, not for everybody, because I've run across people all the time and tell them don't do it. But there are people that should. If you don't have any traits, didn't have a dad. And one of the biggest things about me was I knew when I was a kid I had no discipline. No, I still
Mm.
struggle with discipline. These are things that the military offered. Now, did I go and shoot at somebody? And no, I had a warehouse job. I did do some things like kick people out and have to do a bunch of training and hurt myself doing training and do a whole bunch of stuff and be ready to get deployed. I definitely had to put my mind ready to go and get in. There's been plenty of those times where I was supposed to be on a deployment and I just didn't go on the deployment. I call it God. But the resources that I was able to get is a life or death situation, right? Because now I have two boys. I have a 12-year-old or 11-year-old son. My youngest son who's alive right now is going to be 10. I have a 1.5-year-old girl, and my wife is pregnant with another boy. All of them will be able to go to college. Now, you guys Google public colleges. You guys Google how many public colleges, black or otherwise, in this country, and they get to go for free. So to me, that's for life or death. That's a life or death changing thing right there.
It definitely is. And it's also, hey, Lady Crawley, thank you for joining us. It's also, you're also shifting a whole paradigm for your life. Because you just said, like, a lot of people in your family in the foster system, there's a lot of, it sounded like the family is like splintered in a lot of ways. And what the decision that you made is now making it possible for you to keep your family together and for your children to have opportunities where they don't necessarily have to go to the military next time. You did it so that they didn't necessarily have to. Lady Carly is telling you blessings, brother.
Thank you, Lady Carly. Yeah, well, my brothers and sisters, they've had definitely, my older brothers and sisters have definitely had it. I have 8 close brothers and sisters that came from my mom's womb, but I am a half brothers and sisters. I am a half brother to all of them, right? Because I have my own dad, and some of us have our own dad. So we technically, with our dad's children included, about 30 of us. So, and a lot of us didn't join the military. A lot of us just, we're yes, it's a lot. Trust me, it's a lot of family members. But what they did was they did learn how to grab a job or do something else to find those resources to move on and get and do things that they want to do now, right? But for me, it was a little different. It was like, I don't want to just get a job. And then they didn't want to get a job, but after a while, time, you can't go to the military when you're 30. So it's like time moved on, and now you got to find a new opportunity. And they find different opportunities. Not to say that they would have took the opportunity when it was there, but like you said, you have to see the resources within that opportunity. And I think that was your class where we had a wealthy gentleman show up. He had 10 pieces of paper at the top of the class, and he asked everybody, he said, come get a piece of paper. And I sat there. I didn't come. And then he told us a story about how he had no money, him and his mom, and how he came to America and he had to find opportunities, because opportunities do not come a knocking. You have to find the opportunity, and then it will knock, and then you open the door. And that was his point. So all those kids who had 10 pieces of paper, they didn't get anything, but he was like, what if that would have been $10 million? You don't know what I would have gave them. So you got to find that opportunity. So I found that opportunity. And now I'm using that opportunity to try to create my own platform, which is something why I really came on here to talk about the veteran stuff, and everything else is just a part of life.
Yeah. So I'm really proud of you, really happy for you. And it's a part of life, but it's an important part of life. So I'm glad that we talked about it, though, because people, when we start businesses, or when we look at people starting businesses, it's important for someone else who's looking to start a business or who is in a business and is struggling to know, like, it's not just like, oh, the path was paved for you. Like, this is how I came, like you said, getting out the mud, right? This is how you got out the mud. And so this is important to the story of your business, in my opinion. And I wanted to ask you, and like you said, having that stability now that you've created for your life gives you opportunities to think. That's very important, because I still struggle with, like, where am I going, paycheck to paycheck. And I find that it does.
I do too.
But I find that it does, like, it interferes with my creativity. So I'm like compartmentalizing my brain, like, okay, I know that I have to worry about rent at this time, but today I'm going to focus on creating this product, or today I'm going to focus on promotion or marketing with my business. I have to compartmentalize it. So you make a good point with this. And then I wanted to talk about this team. So first, what's the name of your business?
So the name of the business is Sly Scholar Multimedia Productions LLC. We're recognized in California. We will turn ourselves into a S corporation and then a C corporation shortly after that.
Okay, and then
Those
I
are
did
important.
see some of your
Everybody,
work.
go ahead.
Huh?
I was just telling people those lingos are important. You have to. Yeah, I'm
Okay.
learning it as we go, but you definitely need to understand LLC, S corporation, C corporation. You need to put the LL. You need to put put everything in your LLC name, then put everything protect that with the S corporation, and then protect that with the C corporation. It's something that they're not talking about. It's financial education that we're not taught. So you guys need to go and do your own due diligence on financial education. What you were asking.
Okay, and when we gonna come back to that, and we gonna come back to everything. I'm gonna actually get a. Oh, Lady Crawley says facts. I have a LLC. Lady Crawley, you need to get up on here with us, or me and you could do a live too. So we gonna follow up on like why you chose LLC. I didn't do LLC. I chose to do sole proprietor because for right now, that's all I needed. But I am curious about LLC and also curious about your decision to
There's
eventually do S corp.
We'll get to it, but there's a kind of way to. I still am an LLC through how I filed, but I am sole proprietor. So there's a
Mhm.
way to do
Mhm.
that. It's just a little, how you word certain things. I just had a tax guy help me out, but yeah, you can
Oh,
continue
okay.
because I don't mean
Okay.
to hold you up on this.
Okay. And then okay. Thanks,
So
Lady
you asked me
Crowley.
about the team. So Sly Scholar Multimedia Productions LLC. That's the name of the company. You can Google us and
Okay.
go
Now,
and find out.
how did you develop a team? Because it's not easy to just
Mm-mm.
decide, I'm gonna have a team for my business. Like, how did that happen? And I
Started
want to
in
tell people real quick. I've seen some of your work. I saw you actually did a commercial for a friend of mine. I stumbled across her commercial part where she was Aya Deli. She does the waist beads,
oh
and then she had years ago she had the health
yeah.
stint, and you were the one who filmed like her little promotional commercial. So
Yeah. I
yeah,
remember that. That was man. That was like 6 years ago.
that was years ago.
That was about 6 years
But
ago.
I was like, oh wait a minute, I know most of these
Yeah, that was
people.
one of my
Okay, so
first gigs. One of my first gigs. But
tell
tell
us
you about
about the art of creating a team. How do
okay,
you do it?
so the art of creating a team. All right, so again, everything started back when I was younger, but to get to where I was today, I had to go to. I went to Sacramento Art Institute of the Art Institute of Sacramento, and there met a bunch of people. Now, this is what I would tell you guys: when you're on lunch break, even at work, if you're at school, school is the best place because everybody's thinking similar to you. How can I make my own money, or how can I get a job? That's the two things that people are thinking about, or how can I create something? So go talk to
Right.
people. Be open. Be daring. Be bold. Do what you told me, which was live outside your comfort zone and walk up to them and see what they're into, see what their interests are. And by doing that, I learned that I'm already good at talking to people. So I learned that great. We have interests. So I set up a meeting at our school, and it was roughly 50 people who showed up, and almost each person was different in different they did something different. So one person's a web developer, one person's an artist, like a drawing artist, somebody did graphic design, and I'm telling them like the school is mission is to find us a job. Okay, that's their mission, is to
Mhm.
find us a job. They're going to teach us all the meetings that we need to get a job. I'm telling us we don't need to find a job because in this room we have everything we need in order to create ourselves whatever it was. And everybody walking out of there was super high on it. And that's what you call motivation. Motivation runs out.
Mhm.
It's worse than gas. So really quickly done. So after about 2-3 weeks, that 50 dwindled down to 20, would dwindle down to 5, and then it dwindled down to 3. And it was me, my
Mhm.
wife, and a graphic director, a graphic designer. Me and the graphic designer had a falling out over $50. $50.
Mhm.
Then I decided I'd do it myself, but I knew I still needed a team. And I met this wonderful Polynesian guy, Roy Liaga. And in no time, he went upstairs. We changed my logo. And then me and him started working on this new idea. But we still didn't create the company yet. We had Nerdy Thugs Entertainment. But at the time, I still own that name. But at the time, I felt like that was too black because in
Mhm.
that time, in 2000 and what's that, 14, we still got a little issue with black names. Now That's the name. You can name anything, some black stuff, and black is in, baby. That's what it is, right? But at the time,
Going out all of a
I
sudden.
went for myself. Oh man, at the time I didn't want to put myself in a box, so I had to. I asked a lot of people. A lot of people was like, "Oh, it's a great name, great name." But I found somebody who told me, "No, I don't like the name because white people don't want to be called thugs and black people don't want to be called nerds." So I had to come up with a creative way to call black people nerds and white people thugs, and that's when I came up with the name. It took us almost a year and we came up with the name Sly Scholar, and Sly means
Okay.
creative with slick, and scholar means educated. And then the rest of what we do is
Mm-hmm.
already inside of the name. Multimedia, which means we do graphics, t-shirts, websites, social media marketing, videography, photography, and then productions, which is the doing of something. All right. And then LLC. So it's all right there in front of you. So that way you would know exactly what it was. And we created the guy using
Okay.
Recess and Steve Urkel. Drew him and then designed him.
So how many people are on your team?
Right now, there is the core 5 of us, but then we branch out and have 8 or 6, 7, 8, 9. I have 11 total right now that I am
11
either
people on.
paying or doing something with. Yes.
Okay. And then, okay, so what are some of the projects, like
Oh,
when we go on, if people go to your page, Sly_Scholar?
no, it's just slyscholar.com.
Sly Scholar. Okay, and then, but on your Instagram page, like I saw you did like some weddings,
Yeah, we
and
do
you'll do like
everything. So
music videos.
our mission statement is whether building a brand or capturing a moment, Sly's your guy. So it doesn't matter what you're doing. In
Like,
fact,
okay.
you're talking about the importance of starting a business. That is exactly where where we make most of our money, is helping people understand how affordable it is to start your business, what you should do to start your business. So I also offer consulting. So imagine this. You come to me and you say, "Hey, I got this idea about this business. I don't know where to start, but I have an idea." And then I say, "Okay, well, let's sit down and let's have a conversation. I give you a free 30-minute consultation and we talk about your business." Then in that 30 minutes, I'm gonna give you a roadmap. That's the word I was looking for. A roadmap of how you can achieve what it is that you need to achieve. But the thing is, I have everything you need. You need a graphic designer to create your logo. Starting a business is the same no matter what you're doing. You need logos, you need videos, you need content. Now, the actual details of how you're going to run your business and the product that you're going to put in there, all that, that's all of you. But the marketing strategies, the things of those nature, you need that. You need the videographer, you need the graphic designer, you need the photographer, you need the social media marketer, you need the web developer. I have all of that. You need a person to help you think outside the box of what you think that you know and help you go and research that. That would be me. You need a project manager that can also make sure all that stuff ties into itself. So that's what we literally specify. That's what we do most of the time. But then we also do music videos. I just did a elopement last week. I just ran into some guy, Jagged Edge, a producer who worked with Jagged Edge and a couple other big names. And I just did him. He hired me for a photo shoot. And this is something that you need to do in your business. And go above and beyond. Go above and beyond. So he hired us for a photo shoot. So instead of just doing a photo shoot and showing up myself, I'm at the point now, finally, thank God, I'm at the point to where I don't have to show up. I don't need to shoot nothing. I don't have to do anything. Everybody submits their stuff to me. I look it over. I send it back. I kick it back. They edit it as need to, and then they finish it. But I showed up anyway because I thought my guy was going to show up, my videographer. My videographer showed up. My photographer showed up. So we decided we were going to do an ad for him instead of just doing the photos. And we actually reenacted a little bit. And we did it within the same time frame that he hired us. And he paid us right up front and everything. And I can teach people how to go about getting your money, about how you break down a payment. So that way the customer doesn't feel like you're getting them and you don't feel like you're being left behind. These are things that I've just been learning and picking up. And by doing that, it has changed a lot of the things that I've been going through. So I'm actually
Okay,
having a little
you
bit.
went in and out, so let me make sure I understand what you said. Number one, I heard you say like you don't have to go anymore. You have some systems set up where you're able to receive information and look it over, and then
Yeah,
it
so I
sounds
set
like
up our own email.
like you have teams. Okay.
Yeah. So for example, I have where's my guy? He's a pharmacist. He
By
owns
the
his
way,
own
Lady
pharmacy.
Crowley
Okay,
is
thirty
applauding
thousand.
you. She's applauding what you're doing.
Thank you, Lady Carly. So $30,000 for another free tip for y'all out there who might acquire this. $30,000 to $40,000. Move your butt to Texas and acquire yourself a pharmacy. It's legal. It's legal. Go to Texas and acquire a pharmacy. My friend made $1.2 million. Okay. And all he has to do is get you got to have the right books, the right people. But these are businesses that you need to look into getting when you get your money. So I have a system set up. So when I do make that
Going in
immediate,
and out.
oh man,
The
is that
connection not
better?
good. I
Is
don't
that
know if
better?
they can hear you out there, but okay. I can hear you a little better, but I can see the little ring going around, so I don't know if it's going to mess up again or not.
Lady Carly, can you hear us?
Can you hear, if she's still on here, whoever's on here, can you hear him? How well can you hear him when he talks? Okay.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So the whole point of having a system set up is so that way I don't have to deal with it. Is it still, you giving me that look? Is
Okay.
it going? So that way I don't have to deal with it. I don't. So
Right.
I have to manage everybody. So if I have a video, I send my videographer out. I send my photographer out. Then all they have to do is do
Oh, okay. I see what
their
you're
regular
saying. Yeah,
job.
you have
Then
to.
they upload it
Okay.
to me, and then I'll check it, and then bam. It took me. I've been in it doing it 6 years, so it took me 6 years just to get the system finally down to where now I can just focus on
Okay.
websites.
Okay.
So where
Yeah.
once I get my website department going, so now I got photography, I got graphics, I got video already situated. It's a system. We know what to do. I do the consulting and the marketing. That's a system that's ready to go. So now it's just the websites, and then we get that ready to go. So we do a plethora of things. Is it still messing up?
Okay.
Is it
It
still?
is, but
Hold on.
I heard you say, okay.
Yeah, I'm trying to just go in the house. Trying to prevent that, but it could be my connection. Is that better?
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is right now.
Yeah.
I heard you say that you have systems set up, and we can see you better with that blue sky. You have systems set up, and I think that that's a really good point that you make. Like, it's so important to get systems to help you streamline the situation. And then you said you're managing now. You're not like, and it sounds like you're also delegating
Yes,
responsibilities,
you
right? So
spend
you're
most of
not
your
yet.
time delegating. Yeah, you have to. You spend most of your time delegating because if you're not delegating, then you have no idea. And I trained each one of my wife. She does the websites and the paperwork for me. I trained her. My graphic director, he went to school with me, but he's really underneath pretty much everything I'm trying to align him with. So we're like a 1 and 2 partner. And then my videographer and photographer, they kind of knew a little bit of something, but I trained them guys up too. And then now I just got my other, I got one of them a computer. So now they're all ready to go. Now my illustrator that's in New York, I don't have to train him to do nothing. He's an illustrator. He does his own thing, and I only contact him when I need him. I have a social media marketer who lives in the UK. He lived in Bangladesh. Now he lives in the UK, and it's all great with him. So it's like you set up your system. So then that way, whenever you need to do something, you just like if you call me and say, "Hey, I need a logo," then I just got to put in the word. And I didn't want to be like everybody else and have a Google. So that you guys fake it till you make it. All right. So what that means is don't fake what you got at home, but fake your business until you make it. So I didn't want slyscholar@gmail.com. I didn't want backslash, whatever. I wanted my business to be www.slyscholar.com. And when you contact me, it'd be Sly Strickland at slyscholar.com. And I teach people how to do that. I had to learn and figure out how to do it myself. And I also now offer it as a service. But those are things that you want to learn how to do. And then that plus the team will I'm starting to see opportunities. I'm getting ready to work on a movie, short films, a couple of things.
Okay. Now that's a good point that you make right there. Those are little things, small things, but they do elevate people's perception when they come face to face with your business. If I see slyscholar.com versus slyscholar.wordpress.com or, then it does, not only is it easier for me to find you without the host website name attached to it, but it also just looks like more uniform. And I'm like, oh, okay. It psychologically, it makes me
It's
think like, oh,
psychologically
this is
better.
more.
Yeah, exactly. And then when we show up,
Even
we show up in our shirts. We show up in our shirts
yeah.
that says Sly Scholar
So
and
you're talking
everything.
about
So
branding now. Yeah, you're talking
yeah.
about uniform of branding now. Okay,
hmm
good. Yeah.
We're pushing out to start
Oh,
to make T-shirts and all different types of stuff. Not T-shirts that says Sly Scholar on it, but just T-shirts that we would produce. So my illustrator in New York, he's already making books. He's very driven. Trust me, when you see some of his work, you're like, oh man, that's some real black work, and it's that black New York graffiti, drawing, just that art that we all as Black people love, and he can pretty much do anything, and he's already been doing anything. It's going to be called Flu Season. We already have the contract pretty much written up. He's already agreed to sign it. Once we sign it and everything, what I'll be doing is making mock-ups on our website to show what these shirts will look like, so then that way people can buy it. That's branding, right? So you don't have to have a whole Sly Scholar shirt on. It just needs to be made by Sly Scholar for it to still considered to be yours. You know what I'm saying? So, and those are things that people have to think about when you're making money, or even if you're making $20. I spent $20. I got 1,200 possible people that I can contact for a job. So if I make one person off of that $1,200 list, then I made my money back, and that's worth the money that I spent.
Oh, you should have been outside the whole time. It's clear. The beautiful sky behind you is such a pretty backdrop, and now we can get to soak up the wisdom, the Sly Scholar wisdom, so much better.
No,
Okay,
so I'm just passing it on again.
Oh shoot. Okay, so we talked about how you created your team. It was really organic. It sounds like it was by using the setting of being in schools and letting things come.
It's kind of organic. If you're the person who's building the team, make sure that you understand that will not be organic. You have to understand, you got to turn something that's not organic. You have to give people the reason why would I work with you? What's the point of me working with you? How far can we go together? My graphic director, I love to tell the story. He said, when I asked him, I said, Roy, why don't you come work with me? He said, why would I work with you? I'm already making money. And I looked at him and I said, man, they only paying you $50, $75 sometimes, if they can. I guarantee you'll make $250 with me. I guarantee you. And and that's off of every logo. So now he's making $250 off of every logo. So it's like, well, you gotta give people, and he's actually making more because we charge for the rights to the logo. So we usually charge $500 plus $250. So that's $750. And then he makes his portion. The company has to do their part just for a logo. So he sees the growth. And it's not where he can quit his job. All my whole team works day jobs. I'm the only person who do this full time. So it's not going to be organic when you start. It's not, because they don't know you. But if you go with a genuine heart and a genuine plan and you stick to your word, then it will become organic.
Okay, that's a good point. Thank you for making that point. Okay, so that's about a team. And then you talked about setting up systems and delegating responsibilities and how it took you a while to develop that, but now everything's more streamlined. But it's good to know this is just the process, right, of creating a business. Things take time to figure out your systems, to get your team together, figure out what to look for in members to decide if this person is a good fit for your team.
I've even had to fire people.
I was going to say that. Eventually, you might have to let people. Yeah, and you're young. So how is that
the Marine Corps helped me.
What'd you say?
I use a lot of my Marine Corps tricks with my team, and that's what it is. Honestly.
Let us know.
And with them, I teach them that you learn a job in front of you. I'm going to disclose this information because I know I hate places where they don't tell you what you're supposed to be doing. You make sure that the person knows the job in front and behind. There is somebody out there that wants to help you right now. You understand? There's somebody who wants to help you with your business. So if you build it, they will come. I promise you. So you just got to build it up to a point to where you'll get somebody else who's interested in doing what you're doing, and then they'll join you. But you got to, at that same time, you got to teach them what you know, and you got to teach them the things that you're not doing no more. And then when they get a person, you need to teach them. So now we all knowing this, and we all have accountability. I'll take an example. For example, we just did a trip last Saturday to do a loafment down there. It was very beautiful. You guys look out for the content. Can't wait to see the pictures and stuff. But we were down there, and as we were driving down there, I had already told my photographer director, I said, hey, man, I need you to get with the videographer director and make sure that you guys get on this last project that we got, this music video. Because if we don't get on the music video, then we're going to miss this video. Then we're going to be behind, and it's going to snowball. There's going to be a problem. And y'all want to get paid, and you're not going to get paid until the project's in, right? So he's like, okay, I'm going to get with him. And I'm sitting there in the car. And he tells the guy, I'm going to be there Monday, right? So then we come back, and then Monday passes, he's not with them. Tuesday passes, he's not with them. Wednesday passes, he's not with them. Now, I'm not firing my guy. He's important. We don't make enough for me to just be hiring and firing people. But I informed him, hey, man, you're supposed to get, oh, man, I don't really recall me telling him that. Well, I was in the car with you that day when you told him. He's like, oh, man, I forgot. Well, it's okay. We'll just, we'll fix it. But that right there, that transparency, that's how we keep each other in line. Now, I have had a guy who he cost me money, and it was actually family that we had to deal with on the back end and a whole bunch of stuff. And I was taking this guy underneath my wing and taught him everything I knew. And the problem with him was he just couldn't own up to the responsibility. And that accountability in your business, that's when you know you need to let somebody go. It's one thing for some
Okay.
that and negligence. So negligence and accountability. If they're slumping on those two things, then you don't really want them in your business. It's a waste of time.
Right.
Okay, and it's a
Right.
waste of money. So the reason why
Because
the guy
also,
who
especially if you're operating off of integrity, you need
yeah.
people around you who are, yeah.
Oh, we operate more than integrity. Each person that is with my business has a non-disclosure agreement signed. So it's not
What does
a.
that mean? What is a
It means that they're
non-disclosure?
not allowed to talk to anybody about any projects that we're doing. They're not
Oh,
allowed to
okay.
communicate with anything like that. And then as far as the whole getting paid thing, it's they're a 1099, they're a contractor, so you're not getting paid until said such project is done. So there's
Right.
that entitlement to I need to finish the job so that way I can get paid. And that's how that works.
Yeah.
But for the most part, it's more than it's just understanding that there's no boss in the room. Even though I'm the boss in the room, there's no boss in the room. I let them all have a say. I let them all get to talk. I ask them all. I do ultimately make the final decision, but unless it's something that I can glaringly see should be overruled, we're one team, one fight, right? And understanding that, because if you guys are going to have your own business, understand something. There's one or two things. Either you're going to tell people this is my business and you're going to work for me, and you're going to have to pay them for them to work for you. But if you're starting out and you don't have the money to pay them, that can't be the case, right? So I am sole proprietor in this business. But however, should I make $1 million or 2 million or whatever, there are things that are in place that will allow these people to not just be employees, to be they're part of their business too, and that's why it works. All right, so it's not
Okay.
they're incentivized not only from doing their own thing, but they're incentivized because it's your business, and that's how it works.
Okay. Okay. Oh, well, this has been great. And I mean, this is so amazing to watch your growth from that time at BTEC to now. Like you said, having gone through 2 marriages, having gone through the Marines, starting your business, growing your business, expanding your business, and developing a team. This is amazing. I just want to say I'm really proud of you. I'm really
Oh,
grateful
thank you.
that you thank you for staying connected, because you the one you called me when I was at BTEC, or you came by and you was like, can I speak in your class? And I was like, yes, please come speak in my class, because I'm always looking for something fresh and new. And the kids need it, like just like you talked about people who came to the class when you was a student.
What's up,
You
Adonis?
people,
My cousin.
the kids would, oh, okay, hey cousin. The kids need that. They would look forward to that. And so you came like two or three times to my class, and they enjoyed it. They was quiet. It was good for them to see one of their peers, somebody who had just came from where they are and who has come back to show them like, hey, this is what's available, possibly available for you when you leave here. And I remember each time you came to the class, everybody was paying attention. And you know that's big, because you know how BTEC kids are.
Ain't
Them
nobody
kids,
paying attention to nothing.
they ain't paying attention to nothing. They can wild out, and especially in the afternoon. I think you came in the afternoon. You know that's
Yeah.
after the week break. So them kids be a whole different kid from the one in the morning. So
So I mean, I want to give people inspiration to understand that you can do it. It is affordable to do. Most of the reasons why we don't do things is because we are depressed. I get depressed all the time. And in my depression, I learned that you need to just fight your depression by doing things actively. So like, I stressed out about a project that I needed to get done. Well, guess what? I'm going to go do the project. Right. And then there is never a good time. It's just like getting married and having a baby. There's never a time. Okay. There's never. I wanted to be on this thing
there's
this
never
morning.
a
Right. This is
perfect
how it works.
time, right?
I wanted to be on this thing this morning. I live in San Leandro. I had to drive all the way to Tracy. I had to get my kids up at 6:00 in the morning to drop them off at their grandparents' house, just so I can get in traffic, be in traffic just long enough to get home just in time for me to have enough time to get my morning face together, so that way I can get on. And then shortly after this, I'm going to go inside. I'm going to send out my emails. I'm going to do my little parts that I need to do. And That's how it works. You just spend an hour a day and it's gonna work. If you need somebody and you don't know how to do anything, you guys just contact Sly Scholar. I'm trying to tell you, you need, if you don't want to contact us, find people who do what we do. You need a consulting person. Honestly, you need a bookkeeper. I don't have one, but I'm gonna get me one. You need a bookkeeper. That's the person who's gonna keep you honest. And then you need a graphic director, you need a videographer, you need a photographer. You need people who understand how the media works, because the media is what you can control. Like right now, I'm working with some guy who's already done 7 feature films. All I want to do is get on there. I don't care if I hold his cup of tea. Okay. And now he hasn't made a whole bunch of money. These are, when I say feature films, that means full length films. That does not mean that they ended up in LA. That means that he sold them. It might not have been for millions, but he sold a project that he did. He did 7
And he
times.
has
He's going to do a 4th
experience.
one.
Like he
He
has a
has
lot of
experience, right?
experience.
And he
But
has,
yeah.
I can guarantee you at least 200,000 people seen it. So that's dope to say that. And then he's done shorts. Then I'm working with another guy who does music videos for the celebrities and stuff. So I get to go talk to that guy. And then I have another guy. You just got to continue networking these things. And as you continue networking those things, you'll start to build yourself. If anybody is out there and you have something that should go on YouTube, or you're a musician or something like that, create your own way. Because at the end of the day, when I just got monetized by YouTube, that's huge. It's like getting your check mark on Instagram. Okay, so if I produce my own content and people watch it, and then YouTube get a check, I get a check. I don't care if it's $20. That's $20, which we just learned what I did with $20. $20 will give me 1,200 people that I can contact for a potential job. So you just got to continue feeding the beast.
Oh, well, on that note, I mean, you just dropped gem after gem after gem after gem. You just a gem dropper. So
I actually got a show coming out called Dropping Gems. So
well, thank you for carving out a little niche out of your day to be with me, to share with
thank
me,
you
and of
so
course,
much for asking. I appreciate it. It means a lot. It's really honoring. It's an honor experience to actually be on here and having this conversation with you. And hopefully, what's up, B? To go to video director right there. Be nasty. That Don. That is my video guy. He's the guy.
Hey, video guy.
So you guys if you guys need any help or any assistance, man, we all approachable. And I greatly appreciate the fact that you gave me this opportunity and with your platform, and you'll be giving us an opportunity because you said you would do our show, Getting Out the Mud, which is coming out, I want to say at the end of March. When I say that we're shooting stuff, we're already shooting it. It's just we're between services and our own production, it's hard to produce. Now I know why it takes so much time to get things out now. But definitely want to congratulate you on what you're doing, and thank you very much for having me on here.
Oh, thank you. And of course, we're going to stay in touch.
Thank you.
Have a great, beautiful day.
You too.
Bye.